coming in. If you could mute yourself. If you can't tell already, we are going to do this as a meeting. That way it can be more interactive and you guys can ask questions. Feel free to turn your camera on, not a problem. We'd love to see your smiling faces on this beautiful Monday afternoon. So again, if you could just keep yourself muted. If you have a question, you can use the raise hand button to raise your hand and ask a question. We do have lots of stuff to cover today. So put your questions in the chat if you'd like, or again, raise your hand. I'm just making sure everyone can chat. Yep, everyone can use the chat. So we have Mark Messimer with MLS Listings here today, and we're gonna just jump right in. So I think the hot topic that everybody's super excited about is open houses. So it's been a minute since we've been able to have an open house, and it's been since you've been able to put a home on tour. So we're just gonna kind of recap for you how to put the home on tour, how to pull those tour lists, and we are going to also have this on the SCORE website, so you can find it there. So Mark, if you want to
dive on in, yeah.
Remind everyone.
We've got Carlos also with us today, and hey, Carlos, if you could keep an eye on the chat room, if there's any questions you can answer with your expertise, that'd be great. Good to see everybody out there. Nice turnout, as they say. And perfect size for a little workshop. So let's start with the it's getting back to normal thing. So I want to show you some listings, because let's talk about how to put in an open house, how to put in a broker tour, because they both are from the same spot. So I'm in what's called trainer mode of listing management, because if they give us the real listing management tool, we'd actually be putting false listings on the system. Every time we hit submit, we put a listing on the market, and that's not good. I know you need them, but you actually want people who are actually selling their houses, not the houses that Carlos and I make up to train on. So this is the trainer mode, so I can do this sort of stuff. So I'm in the active area. I'm looking at the index over here on the left-hand side. I've got my active listings, my 3 active listings here. I've got a members only do not show, a members only show, and then just a straight active listing that's running right now. Let me move some stuff out of the way. So all your action items over here on the far right-hand side, I'm going to use the drop-down menu, and there's my open house edition right there. Okay, here's the tour edition right there. And just for a quick reminder, because it's been a while, we'll let this load up here. A quick reminder as to what these look like. Note that, we are still stating that it's your responsibility, to check with the counties to make sure you're staying car compliant and COVID compliant in the state of California. But as you can see, very simple tool to put together. I'm going to do an open house this upcoming Friday from 1 to 4. I'm the host. I could also put someone else in the host if I want. Here are my remarks that I can put in. 244 characters maximum there. And once I list this, and I'll go ahead and just hit submit, here it is right here. Okay. It keeps an index for us. So if your seller ever says, so how many open houses did we do? Right? You've always got a nice big list of all your things. And certainly you can cancel and edit that open house. What's nice about the edit option is if I open it up, I can copy and paste those remarks into the next open house. So copy paste works in this situation as well. Any quick questions on that? Or anything to do with the new open house environment? Everybody good?
When you put it on the virtual tour, or when you put it on the broker tour, is that where you select which of the meetings? Is that where you select which when you put it on the broker tour, is that where you select if it's going to be the Evergreen, CBVA, North Valley?
Exactly. Okay. Let me go back to I'm going to go back to my dashboard and open this one up. Oops. Active listings, Mark. There we go. Let's put it on broker tour, and right here. You select which tour you want, okay, which association, in this case. Now notice this is a Santa Clara County property, so you're not getting the Monterey County listings. You're not getting the SamCar up in San Mateo. So the software understands where the property is and gives you only the options that will meet the requirements of the broker tour. I can choose the tour from here. So CBVA, time is selected here, or date is selected here, and notice that only the Wednesdays are available because that's the only day that the CBVA tour is. So the software likes to keep everybody in the right spot. And then of course you can use your remarks right there, 78 characters on that one. And once again, you'll get that index here at the bottom. So you always know, which property was on which tour at what time.
So I've never seen this. So my assumption is that it knows that it would go to the CBVA meeting because of the zip code.
Yes, because of the zip code. Yeah.
That's kind of nice. Then you don't have to remember.
Yeah. Well, it used to be back in the day, as they say, it didn't have those guardrails on it, those safeguards on it. So you'd get people putting, a Gilroy property on the San Mateo County tour, kind of stuff. It used to happen all the time. So we built the intelligence right into the software now.
Nice.
Yeah. So those are those two options. Now that's for that listing agent that needs to get on, get an open house going. In fact, last weekend, I did a check. I was out of town last week, but I just had to see how many open houses there were. We had over 700 open houses on our system on Friday afternoon. Now, some of those were out in the future, right? The listing agent put 3 weekends in a row. That's absolutely fine. You can queue them up like that if you want, but your average days on market in Santa Clara County right now is less than 10. So maybe start with 2.
And if you set them up like that, where you have 3 of them, and then let's say the property goes into contract, once it goes into contract, does it automatically take those other open houses off, or do you need to remember to go back into the system and remove those?
It will disengage. If you go to pending, it will disengage. If you're in contingent status, meaning you're accepting backup offers, the tours will still be there.
Okay.
Kind of stuff. So a little bit of safeguard on that one as well. Now let's take a look at the search side. You've got it listed. Now for you buyers agents, how do I find them? Okay. And Carlos, this is the one where they really helped us out a lot, because if I come up here to search, okay, and come all the way down to, it's not public records. It is, oh, I'm missing it here. Let me find it again. There we go. And who am I in as? Am I in this the right one? There it is, tours, right there, open houses, right there. If I want to see what open houses are coming up, it looks like Matrix, it acts like Matrix. You can simply say, I want residential, upper left-hand corner. I'm going to do the single family, the townhome, and the condo. And I want to go City of Santa Clara. Okay, and right there. I can choose either the in-person ones or the virtual, depending on which one I want, or I can leave it just like that, and it will bring up both for us, okay? And, oops, go away. There we go. So right now, there's only one on Santa Clara for currently on the system for Santa Clara, open house on the system for Santa Clara. But boy, you wait till Wednesday or so, boom, you're just going to start seeing these fold in. As the week builds, as we get closer to Thursday, this list just gets bigger and bigger. Certainly because it's Matrix, I can highlight stuff. I can now email it. I can now print it. I can now get the driving directions for it. Acts just like a Matrix search.
Mark, can you go back to your criteria? Because I think you selected something by mistake. On your criteria button, right there. Oh, City of Santa Clara. Oh, Santa Clara. I thought you meant to say the whole Santa Clara County.
Well, let's do it that way. That'll make it.
Yep.
So there's Santa Clara County. Take out this SC in the city, right? There are 53 right now down here in the bottom left corner.
Big difference.
Yeah. So anyway, real simple. Just come up to search. Here are all your search options. You'll see the ones for the open houses as well as the ones for tour. If you like it, do it that way. Feels good to be back out on the road again, I imagine, actually looking at houses and such. So that's your how to list it and how to search for it.
Does anybody have any questions about how to put your home on tour or as an open house, or how to search for these things?
This is Robert LaHue. I actually have a quick question for you.
Hi,
So
Robert.
when Mark goes up to search and it shows like in the drop down there, it shows open houses, tours and all that. When I go in there, I'm not seeing all of those in the drop down. Like I can click, if I click on the search, it then takes you to all your options. I can scroll down and find it, but I don't have it in the drop down.
Yeah. You've got a more, go ahead, Carlos.
More. Yeah, I was gonna say that at the very bottom of the page, right there, Robert, you will see more of the drop down. Click the more button where it says public records right here for Mark. It should say more for you. Click on that, then you have the list of options and you'll see open house right there.
And Robert, what Matrix does is, as you start to use a certain type of search, it moves it up the list because it believes now, oh, Robert's going to, to tours a lot, so I'm just going to put it at the top of the list for him. So give it a few more clicks, or or over the next week or so, you'll start to see all the ones you use rise to the top.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet. Okay. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Everybody good? Okay.
Yep.
So next on the list of what things we want to talk about, and I'm just going to bring up a standard search here. So many years ago, and I'm going to go back to maybe I'm going to go 2008, maybe 2009. We were having similar listing issues, right? Everybody's looking for a listing, kind of thing. And so I happen to live up in the Santa Cruz Mountains. The last half hour of my drive is absolutely no cell reception, barely any radio. It's my thinking time. And so I tend to design classes or outlines for classes during this last part of my drive home when I used to drive home. So at that point in my mind, I was thinking, okay, how would I find a listing? If I needed to, how would I go pitch a listing, but where would I want to go? Because I just don't want to shotgun myself across all of Santa Clara County. I want to get down to some specific neighborhoods that I know are performing well, okay? And maybe performing well and there's no competition in that neighborhood right now. But when I get there, I want to be armed. I want my numbers. I want it all packaged up. I want to know who I'm going to talk to, right? Whose door am I going to be knocking on? And it turns out there is a way to do this with using, right now, I'm just going to show it to you in the Matrix environment where you can find all of that information. Now, we used to do it using the product called Realist, okay? That Realist tax data. When I wanted to find out who lives in a neighborhood, I'd go to Realist tax. But Realist tax has now been included in the Matrix package. I don't need to go search for it anymore in a separate application, because here on search, if I come all the way to the bottom, there's my public records option. Now, whether it was just good planning or just darn luck, Carlos is holding a class this Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock to cover in detail what I'm about to show you here. So this is just advantageous. What I want to do is take you through, give you the sort of the features and benefits, and give you an idea of what's possible. And then Carlos at 10 o'clock on Wednesday is going to drill down into it for you. And he's going to, he's got that big long Q&A down to the button detail for this sequence of events, this sequence of clicks I'm going to do. Because let's say, as an example, I like to work Santa Clara, okay? But as I said, I don't want to have to go shotgun all of Santa Clara to find out what's the best neighborhood. I want to peek in and get serious about the whole town. So let's go I'm going to do this search. So active, contingent, pending, and sold, okay, over there on the upper left. Remember that you need to put a close of escrow date in, because if you don't give it a range, it's going to give you 21 years worth of solds in the city of Santa Clara. And I really only want maybe just the last 30 days. This is one of those what if, or what if I did this instead of that? In today's marketplace, the last 30 days is the market. Last 60 days back, that could be a whole different price point, as we know. So I'm going to do the 0 minus 30. This is sort of, you get to make that call. 0 minus 45, 0 minus 55. You make that call as to what it's going to be. I'm looking for single family homes, and I'm looking for those homes in Santa Clara. Okay. There are 187 options down here in the lower left corner. This is the big search. So what I want to do is sort of set a baseline. I want to find out everything I can about all of Santa Clara, and then I'm going to get in there and look for that special neighborhood that works best for me. So here's the results button. And it's going to come back with a big giant list of data. Okay. Now remember, I see one right down here. BE, we got a listing here that starts with BE rather than ML. That's one of those Bay East listings. Okay. So we're now, because of data share, we're picking up all the listings in Santa Clara, not just those that came from an MLS listings member. Okay, let's find out some statistical values for this marketplace of Santa Clara over the last 30 days, single family homes. And I'm going to come down to the green menu at the bottom of the page, and I'm going to click on stats. Okay. And when I get there, and you can, let me move it down a little bit so you can see. There we go. There we go. So here we go with the stats button. Want to get the statistical analysis of Santa Clara solds over the last 30 days. I'm going to hit the word tabular because it's a table of statistics. And here's what it does. If you've never seen this before, this is one of those, oh, really? No one ever told me about this. It breaks down those listings into their categories. Okay. I can start now to do my own analysis. And what I'm looking at here is the solds in Santa Clara County, or excuse me, in the city of Santa Clara over the last 30 days. I now know, and what I use mostly is this average line. The average list price is 1.486. The average sale price is 1.623. That's that sales to list price ratio. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home built in early 60s. Okay. Roughly about 1,500, little over 1,500 square feet. Okay. 5,900 on the lot size. Now, I'm a big user of cut and paste and Excel. Okay. And what's nice about this program right here is this will cut and paste it very nicely into Excel. Okay. So here it goes. That was a right click. Here's my copy. And I'm going to pop open. I brought up an Excel file here. I'm going to paste that right in here. I sound like that Bob Ross guy on Channel 9 with the painting. Just thought of that.
Do you have happy little cells?
Yeah, exactly. What a happy little days on market. Okay, so I put this here because I want to be able to go find it later. I'm going to do some comparisons between what's going on in Santa Clara with all the homes sold and versus what's going on, down in a special neighborhood. Back to my statistics again. Okay. I'm going to go back to where I came from, back to that criteria. Let's go look at some neighborhoods. Let's see where these solds are taking place. Okay. And for that, I come back to the top of the page and I click on the map tab right up here, sort of in the upper right-hand corner, but upper rightish corner. Here's the map. And here are all those little homes. I'm going to move some things around my screen here so I can find all my buttons. There we go. Let's zoom in. Red homes, those are the solds, last 30 days. Orange homes, those are the pendings and the contingents, okay? And the green homes, of course, are the actives, okay? What I'm looking for is that, each of these, especially the red homes, but orange homes and red homes, that's consumer activity. They're involved. They're participating in the transaction right now. The green home, that's the listing agent's activity, right? They're the ones that are getting that, they're getting that listing started. I was attracted to, and this is for use of those of you that know Santa Clara better than I do. I was thinking, and I think it's right here, this neighborhood right here. Okay. The reason is I got a lot of good activity. I've got a lot of red. I got a lot of consumers buying houses there. They must find something interesting in that neighborhood. Okay. We've got some orange houses, so we've got some stuff going through pending. But what I looked at from the salesman's point of view was there's no green. When I go talk to these homeowners, I can truly tell them, not only are you within one of the most attractive buying neighborhoods in Santa Clara over the last 30 days, but there's no competition right now. If you come to the market, you're going to be the only one there. That's a big statement, I think, to make. Okay, let's go dive into that neighborhood a little more. I want to see, how do these houses how do these houses that have sold compare to the overall marketplace of Santa Clara? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate. I'm going to cut these homes out of this map, okay? And that's where we use our trimming tools up here, okay? So let's trim this down. And remember, Carlos is going to go through this at a lot, you know, at a much easier pace than I'm going here. I just want to give you, you know, some of the highlights of what can be done with this set of tools. I'm going to go down to, I think it's Warburton is right here. I'll just cut it. Just want to grab all these homes. Every time I change direction, I give it another click. It anchors it for me, right? Okay, I've locked those homes in. All the rest of the homes on the map have now disappeared. And let's go down once again to that bottom menu for a stats tabular calculation, okay? Remember, I did a save, a copy paste and a save over to that Excel file so I could look at the two together. Gonna do the same here, okay? And gonna grab those solds, come over to Excel. Let's lay those down right below these. Here's the line I'm looking at. I like the average line. I'm gonna highlight that for you. And so overall in Santa Clara, your average list was 1.48 in this neighborhood, okay? 1.34 list to sales price ratio. They're still paying more for it over there. Here's the key thing though. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath at almost 1,300 square feet, okay? So what this is telling you is in that neighborhood that it's where the most buyer, or predominantly a large number of buyers have bought in the last 30 days. They're buying a 3-bedroom, 2-bath at roughly 1,300 square feet, okay? And look at the 6 days on market. On average in that neighborhood, it's 6 days on market, but in all of Santa Clara, 15 days on market. So you can now tell these prospective sellers, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, roughly about 1,300 square feet in that neighborhood sells twice as fast as all the other homes in Santa Clara over the last 30 days. Okay, that's a powerful statement to make, but you can prove it using this, you know, this method of breaking down neighborhoods into statistically verifiable powerhouse neighborhoods for you to work in. Okay, this is where it gets fun. Remember this: 3-2, roughly 1,500 square feet. Now we go back and do the search on the tax side, because it's the tax record or the public record where all these homes sit, all the names sit. Okay, standard matrix, you know, input screen. I'm looking for 3 bedrooms, and I'm gonna go 3 bedrooms, 2-bath. It was 1,300 square feet, so let's go 1,200 to like 1,350, right? Put in a range there to work with. You can make that whatever you want, absolutely. Let's go find the map because I got to cut that neighborhood out again, okay? Here's my map. I was over in Santa Cruz, obviously, last time I was searching. Let's go find that neighborhood in Santa Clara. It is right there. That's the one. I'm going to cut the neighborhood right out of the map for everyone. Using my cutting tools up here at the top, choosing the polygon because it's sort of an odd shape I got to deal with. Polygon. Come on, be good. There we go. Okay, down Cabrillo. Every time I change direction, I give it another click to anchor it. Go around this corner here, coming down Calabasas to Warburton. Warburton back up Lawrence Expressway. One last click, okay? And remember, I'm looking for only the 3 bedrooms, 2 baths between 1,200 and 1,350 square feet. You decide how big you want those parameters, right? And here they are. Now, there are 144 people, 144 houses. Here are the owners' names right here. I love these last sale prices, right? When you get a piece of data where there's nothing here, right? The county doesn't know when they bought it and what they bought it for. That's because the record is so old. Those people have lived there so long that the county hasn't digitalized their information. But look at these home prices down here, right? Now remember, the average sale price in this neighborhood for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath is 1.4 million. These people bought at 120,000. We got, it literally shows you where the equity is lying right now in these neighborhoods, and every single home all the way down this list has every single homeowner that you can make contact with. And here's how you can make contact. I selected all the properties over here on the far left-hand side. I told the system, take everybody, right? Come down to the bottom of the list, down here to this green menu, way down in the bottom left corner, print. And there are your mailing labels right there. I want to send it to the occupant at the property address. Maybe it's a renter in there right now. Want to let him know, hey, this is what's going on in your neighborhood, kind of thing. Okay. What we've done here, and let me come back. I'm going to open it back up so we can chat about it. We have taken Matrix and we have looked at, we told Matrix to go out and look at a complete city. So you get a baseline, right? So you can make some comparisons for somebody. Then moving over to the map to visualize where's the consumer buying, right? What neighborhoods have the red and orange houses in them? So you know the consumer activity. You isolate that neighborhood, maybe choose a couple of neighborhoods, don't put all your eggs in that one basket, run a couple different neighborhoods, maybe one that's working at 1.4 million and another one that's working at 1.2 million, right? You spread yourself out a little bit. Found the neighborhood, figured out what the comparison values, stats tabular at the bottom, right? Stats tabular to give you those average breakdowns. And then moving over into the new search area and coming down to the public records to, locate, let's go to the neighborhood and find out who lives there and when did they buy and what did they pay? Because when you get there, whether you're going to knock on the door or send them a postcard, whatever you're going to do on your marketing side, you get to say things like, Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez, do you know that your home, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, roughly 1,300 square feet in this neighborhood is exactly what the buyer is buying right now. That's what they're attracted to about this neighborhood. And that's the home you have. Now, on average, your home, because it's the buyers, are attracted to it, you close in half the amount of time as all the other sales in Santa Clara over the last 30 days. Your sales to list price ratio is in the positive side. You're probably going to get more than you asked for, but we'll price it, competitively. And then you just go and do that sales thing you do of, getting in there and getting your company pitch, the way you do your marketing, how you're going to, be that trusted partner. But you're coming from a point of strength. You've been able to easily determine, what they may be looking for. Now, I will say this, and let's see if I can get it to come up. When you are in, this is the results again, right? And go easy. If you knock on the door or you make a phone call, you figure out how to get a hold of these people, and you call James E. Margison here at 1951 Santa Rosa Court, right? Go easy on him. Hi, James, how you doing? Hey, I noticed you bought your house on May 31st in 1989. You paid $268,000. They're going to wonder, who is this guy? Where'd you find all this information out, right?
Stalker status, real fast.
Yeah. So this is a powerful tool. Carlos, you and I have been teaching this, I don't know, for 4 or 5 years now. I've had people get up, back in the day when we used to actually be in the classroom, which was good, but, a little crazy now. I would have people stand up and leave the class at this point. And I'll say, why? And say, because I've got 144 people I'm going to go start contacting, right? When I designed the class originally, I called up an agent in Los Gatos that I've known for years and years, and I explained it to her, right? And then you can do this, and this is what you're going to get at the end. You get the mailing label and all that kind of stuff. She goes, Mark, the only thing I'll say is this: I will pay you to never teach this class again, because it is literally handing you the names of all the front doors in the most powerful selling neighborhoods. You decide where you want to work. We'll tell you who lives there, who owns the homes.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
And this is just because this is completely standing out to me. So I'm looking kind of in the middle of the page, and most of the houses are 89, 90, 93, and they're, you know, mid to high 200,000s. And then
Right.
there's one that's sold for $700,000.
Okay, so let's right here in
Uh,
1990. So let's go find out
that one.
what is going on with this piece
Hey,
of
so I'm just
property.
curious, like, can you actually, maybe they added on,
Well, that would be their purchase price way back then,
which just is $500,000 more than the rest of them.
than everybody else. So let's see down in the history. There's no history and there's no listing. So if they did it in 89, they only recorded it with Santa Clara County. And maybe, you know, that's one of those maybe worthy of when you talk to that individual, you know, asking them, you know, I'm noticing something interesting about your tax record on the property that, you know, based on your purchase in whenever, it's not coming out, you know, it's not working. It's coming out 700,000. It could just be a clerical error. You know, maybe it was 70,000 or something, but we've seen those before. You know, county records are not pristine. They have their holes in them. Hey, also I just looked at something. I forgot to point out the export button down here. I'm an Excel guy, right? I like using it. You can dump all this data, all these homeowners over to an Excel file. And now I can start tracking. Oh, I sent these, you know, these 20, I sent the postcard last week. I'm going to do these 20 in 2 weeks, right? You can start mapping and tracking when you make contact, putting notes in for different, you know, different scenarios. Hey, and sometimes if you, you know, now that open houses are coming back, this is, you know, if I was going to focus on that neighborhood in Santa Clara and I saw one of my partners, one of my, you know, teammates in the office come up with a listing, oh yeah, I'm going to ask if I can sit on that open house form, right? Because now I'm armed with all this statistical knowledge about what's going on. And you're going to expect the neighbors to come over and take a look, right, at the open house. So got to sign their PED form though. And, but sit open houses in these powerful neighborhoods because you know everything that's going on about them.
That is fascinating information. I had no idea you could do that. It's kind of scary.
It is kind of scary. Carlos and I, like I say, we've taught this class. We've seen people just, you know, just, and especially with the little things, mailing labels from a click, right? You go to Amazon, order up the Avery label, a couple days they come in, boom, you're in business. You start a marketing plan right there. The other thing I like to do, and I'm going to go back to, let's go all the way back. I should have printed up a CMA. Okay. While I had those sold listings up, those actives, pending, and solds, I'm going to go back to recent searches here. This is the last 50 things I've done over the last 7 days. Sometimes we get so focused sometimes on a computer screen that we never look over a little farther to the right and see that button. What does that button do? Never saw that one before. These are the last 50 searches I've done in the last 7 days. So I'm just going to go, I think this was the one. Yeah, this was, a list of listings, as they say. And going to do the other one. The other reason I like this list, there are no active listings in there. Before I'd go, I'd definitely select all these listings and run that quick CMA. Have that data in print, especially with open houses back together with us again. I'm an old sales dog by trade, I guess, and then went into sales training and then went to corporate training, but old sales dog. I would do this. I think my dad taught me this one. You print this up, okay? You're doing an open house. You print this up, and you only print up one, and you leave it out where everyone can see it, because notoriously, one of those prospective buyers is going to say, "Wow, I like this. Boy, can I have this one?" And you get to say, "You know what? That's the only one I've got. But if you can just give me your email address, I'll get one to you right away." Old, it's like say,
Sneaky.
it's just being sneaky
I
or
like it though.
uh, or just being, you know, a little crazy smart sometimes. So any questions, anything we can, you know, there's a lot of material, guys. There's a ton of material.
I think the next thing we're going to jump into is, if you guys notice on his CMA, the top of this has his picture, his contact information, all that stuff.
Yeah, that wasn't by accident, that's for sure. So headers and footers, right? Branding, top, you know, top of the page, bottom of the page, whatever you need. Matrix can do it for you. Now remember that some of you have been with Michelle and I, you know, as we do the virtual speaking tour out there. Michelle's got those 3 for free Oculus reports. You're going to use, that's a completely separate branding scenario. You need to go into her application in Oculus to get your picture up and stuff and get your information put in. But from the Matrix side of the world, you have the ability to have these banners show up on your emails, show up on your printed documents like this quick CMA, and it's really pretty simple. For those of you that have been with us for a while, I will let you know that, Carlos, when did they change this? When they came out with Matrix, I think
That was about a year ago, probably
Yeah, about a year
and a
ago.
half ago, right?
Okay. It used to be over here under My Matrix. Okay, way over there on the upper left-hand side. That's where you used to do this branding. Now they've moved it all the way over here to the right-hand side, the upper right-hand corner, right? And it's going to be one of the settings that is in the drop-down menu right below your name. Okay. Here's the information we're looking for. It's the My Information for branding options. And now you're going to work across these tabs right here to get your information filled in, get your picture set up, get an email signature. Carlos, that's sort of like Outlook, right? Where you can put logos, you can put all your different class certifications you've got at the bottom of your email. Very advantageous.
Yeah, that's correct, Mark. And I would like to invite everyone. I know we're dealing with seasoned agents here. Some of them are new, but if you come to the class that I teach every Tuesday at 10, which is called Getting Started with MLS Listings, I usually cover all this.
That's
how to set up
perfect.
the system before you start.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, Carlos. So that's tomorrow at 10. And then Wednesday morning at 10, you're doing the listing locator class. This is perfect. So, you know, don't want to, I'll show you this part though, because this is fun. We're sort of doing the highlights here. And Carlos is going to dive down into the details over the next couple of days for you. You know, this is the banner that I chose, but there are so many options. They're right behind this link right here. I mean, look at all these options that are available to you. You sort of, you know, which one suits you best, background, you know, American flag, the whole couch beach thing. I mean, there's a lot here to work with. The other thing that's nice, if you're so inclined, is you can upload your own, right? Build your own if you've got PowerPoint skills or Photoshop, something like that. Here's the key thing though. You have to have it a specific size, 1600 by 120 pixels. Now, some of you gray-haired folk like me get to say, what's a pixel, right? Find yourself a 14-year-old. Okay, they just know this stuff. They know how to work all the tools. You know, they're building their own Insta everything. So you know, you don't need to know how to use Photoshop. Just find a teenager that does. They'll usually work for food.
Or Canva. I'm learning that a lot of you know how to use Canva.
Yeah, no, that'd be a great place to do this.
Yeah.
So you can use one of our banners, our templates, or design your own with your logo, kind of stuff. Whatever, you know, your team, maybe if you're in a team environment, that would also be perfect. All righty. Are they drowning yet?
Mark, before you switch the topic, I would like to stress that this banner is really important because this is the one for your reports, the header, and then you have the footer. But at the same time, it's going to be the banner when you send an email to your clients that's the first thing they're gonna look at the
Yeah.
top, that huge banner with your photo. So you really need to take your time to go through every setting. And again, come to the class tomorrow. Somebody's asking me about the link. I'm gonna put it on the chat window in a couple of minutes so that you can sign up for the class. And it's an hour class. So I believe you're gonna learn a lot, and we're gonna go into details because again, we don't have much time. Thank you, Mark.
Carlos runs all of our webinar program, and we've really made some nice additions to it. And one of them is we cut the classes down. We made them smaller, right? Bite-sized chunks, as we say, right? We're busy. We're getting things done. We're getting ready. You know, we're out in the open now. We're getting out of the house. So we're making these fast and easy. And Carlos is involved also in building video materials. So you can take the class with Carlos and then watch the video later to get the, you know, as a quick refresher. There's always stuff like that available to you. So.
Does setting up this information right here transfer over to all of the different reports?
Yes.
Perfect.
So whether you're doing, let me go back and do a quick search. I think this is going to be, not that one.
And I think this, you know, this really helps somebody stand out, you know, with your information. It shows that you took the time to customize it and, you know, brand it to yourself, especially if you're going to pass it out to people.
So here's an Agent One line report, right? If you want to do the, oh, that's a print button. Cancel that. Thank you very much.
But it's there.
There we go. Maybe I here's the client full to send to a client. Here's my preview button. Right. So yeah, every place it's going to come over to.
Awesome.
Any questions on banners and marketing and you know, it's Matrix is really, you know, they've packaged it all up nicely so that you only have to use, you know, learn how to use that one interface. You know, how do they enter bedrooms and bathrooms? And then it's the same everywhere you go. You know, there's, I'm annoyed sometimes by software you can tell was built in different pieces in different factories almost because search doesn't match list, which doesn't match display. Matrix is doing a good job of keeping all the same behavior patterns as you go through. The print button's always in the bottom left corner, you know, the simple things like that, but they can be frustrating if they're not done correctly. So
does anybody have questions on this piece before we move into kind of our final topic? And if you come up with questions later, that's fine too. You can always ask, put them into chat, or you can raise your hand.
Gonna do some cleanup here. Hey, Carlos.
Hi.
What time is the class tomorrow? Getting started?
It's going to be at 10 a.m. from 10 to 11.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me put the right link. I put one, but it seems to be the wrong one. So I'm adding the right one right now. So use the second link, not the first one. Thank you.
And Mark, just, I guess, if somebody wants to take a class from MLS listings, where would you go?
Okay, so at the top of every single page, way upper right hand corner, way up in the upper right hand corner, you've got a training link right there. It's going to come back and it's going to put up the calendar. Okay, so we are at
There's a lot tomorrow.
What's that?
There's a lot tomorrow.
Well, yeah, in fact, it's yeah, we've got multiple webinars going on. We've got HomeSnap, we've got Remind, we've got a couple from HomeSnap. Carlos is doing a few of them tomorrow as well. So we put our key vendors and all the classes that Carlos does as well. Yeah, that way you don't have to go hunt around multiple sites, right, to get to the classes for the tools that we offer. You can just go to one location. Makes it a lot easier.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's do this.
Are we getting into our second topic or our final topic?
Well, yeah, actually the third topic, which is, let's see. Want to talk about reporting a listing, and specifically reporting a listing on that brand new do not show category. So I've done a search here for just the do not shows, right, that are currently active. We'll choose just the single family ones, and let's go ahead and do it for Santa Clara County just to get the number down to something reasonable. 165. Hit the results button, and let's go take a look at some listings. I'm going to move from the agent one line report. I'm going to go down to the agent thumbnail because it allows us to see the private remarks. Okay. So the question was, and the question has been, as members only do not show is becoming, a mainstay in our marketplace now because it's got a lot of flexibility to it. But people, real estate agents, realtors, those that are in the data every day have said, how could that house have sold when it was in members only do not show? And I asked the listing agent to, I'm going to, really want to see it, let us know. And then all of a sudden I go back to look at it and it's already sold, right, with 0 days on market. We have had those situations, and our compliance department is not only reviewing every single set of agent remarks to make sure that they're not saying, hey, put in an offer by next Thursday, or I've actually seen one do, members only do not show, here are the showing instructions, or members only do not show, here's the link to the Calendary site, and the calendar allows you to show it this afternoon. We're scrubbing the data. The system does the searching for us. It kicks out the reports. We're making sure that there is clear from the listing agent's words. That way you as the buying agent know what you can go see. But we're scrubbing that. And when we find listings that have appeared to have sold in members only do not show, we will then connect with the listing agent and we will ask for some documentation, because what we want to see is we want to see that the offer was written with subject to inspection, right? Or buying as is, no inspection necessary kind of stuff, right? And if it doesn't, we're going to, we've already incurred, there have been agents that have incurred a very difficult $500 fine for testing the rest of the marketplace, testing the community with less than perfect manners, listing manners. If you need to report a listing, always remember, if you just click on the MLS number, the blue link MLS number, it'll take you to the agent flow report, okay? And right up here is that report a listing option, okay? You can do so anonymously. There's the send anonymous button right there. But remember, if you do it anonymously, we can't report back to you what we found because you're anonymous. So we will never, they go to a, let's say the compliance department says, yep, bad boy, right? You didn't follow the rules. Here's your fine. Please don't do it again. The listing agent can go to a group of their peers for a hearing and to present their perspective, present their evidence and such. You will not be called as a witness for the state, all that kind of stuff. We take on the responsibility of enforcing the rules. That's not your responsibility, but we do want you to participate if you see something wrong. And certainly if you just want to, put up the curtain, that's allowed also. Absolutely. Just click send anonymously and it goes from there. Jody, was there anything else on that whole, this looks fishy topic?
It's not only on the MLS. A lot of us are in, different Facebook groups. So if you see something in Facebook as well, I've seen it before where it says, looking for an off market, those types of things.
Right.
Maybe go look it up on the MLS and see if it's on the do not show, see if it's even posted.
Yeah.
That's another way to find out if you're not looking for something specific. But if you see something, the only way to make this, everybody's, I don't know if it'll completely stop, but the only way to call it out is to report it.
Yeah. Let us take care of the, of the footwork, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give us an address, if you know an MLS number, that's great. So many different ways to do it. Compliance@mlslistings.com. support@mlslistings.com, feedback at mlslistings.com. All of these will get funneled down to the compliance department, and they will actively, especially in these members only environments, they will actively look at that, because you may be violating, or a listing agent may be violating the clear cooperation policy that came from NAR originally, right? So, and then that gets into fair housing issues, and it can become a mess. We are a self-governing community, and so please help us and help your fellow real estate agent keep the data pure, keep the integrity in the data. Know that you're always presenting to your client clear and accurate information that represents the property appropriately, and that those that aren't playing by the rules are contacted by our organization to inform them that they must. And we as well, we talk to their broker as well. So everyone gets involved in the remediation, shall we say.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have questions about that, or just any other general MLS questions? We've got Mark and Carlos for another couple minutes here. Or if there's something you'd like to see them do a deep dive on, let us know for June, and we can get that done for you. These MLS Mondays come out of feedback directly from you guys. So what you want to see, what you want to hear about, please, share your feedback with us.
Other things that are coming down the road, Jody, that I know of, we're looking at calendaring software. We want to add that to the toolkit. So that's an active review process that our product management team is working on right now. We had showing time chosen, ready to sign the paperwork kind of stuff, and then the Z and the all that kind of stuff. And so we went, no, we're going to get feedback from our membership before we engage with a product that's owned by what will soon probably be a competitor to you. Certainly the Compass Glide purchase was sort of caught everyone a little off guard, where our board, I know, is meeting later this month and that is on the agenda as to which direction we will go in that case. We know that Carr has stepped away from that agreement at this time, and they're transitioning away from it. So that's going to be a little, we're going to see some change. And I know a lot of people don't like the word change, but it's a different marketplace than it was, 5 years ago, even when it comes to technology. A lot of purchasing and acquisition going on out there.
Yep, this is true.
I think, yeah, and I'd love to get some feedback on what to do next. We always seem to, Jody, you and I and Miranda and Carlos, we always seem to come up with a list of topics. Know that if you go to Carlos's class, I know he does it. I like doing it, which is that question out of nowhere.
They're definitely very quiet right now, but one of the things I might suggest is open houses. We just went back on it. We also have a class called "How Do I Prepare for an Open House?" that I believe is interesting.
Yeah.
Now we could talk about, especially now that we reopened. You already show them how to search for open houses, how to enter an open house, but what else can you do about this, right?
Right. And I keep, I always got to remember and remind the team a lot of, we've got a lot of veterans out there. We see a lot of faces. Even in this crowd, I see a lot of familiar faces. But there's always those new people that they're just starting to. They're the sponge and they're absorbing everything. And it may not be new to us, right? But it's brand new to them. And that's, come on in. We've got material, whether you like to learn in person with Carlos on his webinar program, you like videos, these workshops that SCORE puts on for you guys, which others have inquired, but only Jody and her team have actually put it to use for their membership. And that's pretty cool.
Sandra has a question for you.
Hi,
I think she just put it in chat too. This recording will be on the SCORE website probably by tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday. Yep, that was your question. So we always put these, these webinars up on our website. That way you can go back and play, pause, do these things as Mark is talking. That way you can get some practice at it. And this is just, a lot of information so that you can stand out from other agents on how you present things, how you find things, having, lots of lots of data that you can present in an understandable way.
And Jody, the one last place I want to take everybody before we sign off for the day, upper right-hand corner of your screen, every single page is that brand new Pro Support Center, okay? And the most important window or data point is right up here. Once again, upper right-hand corner. I'm just going to type in broker tour. Right? Oops, that's not how you spell tour. What did Mark say about broker tours? What information is available for me? Type in whatever you're looking for in that square, and up comes, here's the FAQ on broker tour right there. This is the 24/7 learning center for everyone. If there are videos, we'll put the video up. This is a giant checklist of all the things relating to the broker tour. We've got the same thing for open houses, for auto emails, for statistics, you name it, membership issues, right? Rules, all the rules are in here. Type in what you're looking for in the upper right-hand corner and click the microphone.
Magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass, thank you. And 24/7, here's your learning library for you.
Yep.
So, upper right-hand corner of every single page.
And remember, the other tab there is the training tab, and that takes you to the calendar, and you can go through and take even more in-depth classes with Carlos. So, yeah. All right. Does anybody have any other?
It is 3 o'clock on the dot.
Right? We did well today. So make sure if you have any suggestions, ideas, something you want to learn more about, email me, education@score.com.